Transgender people are still fighting for simple civil rights every day, and it's hard to imagine how tough their lives can be due to other people's ignorance. Luckily, there are many celebrities out there that are speaking up about their transition and have become role models for the community. Let's take a look. Before we begin, if you have not done so already, please smash the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our contents. With that said, let's dive right in. 1. Chaz Bono.
They say we're young and we don't know. We won't find out until we grow.
Sonny and Cher had a girl named Chastity, and no one imagined that she would grow up to become a man. But in the late 2000s, she became known as Chaz. At the age of 40, he decided to have a surgery to remove his breasts and continue his transition to a man. Chaz started taking testosterone shots to grow facial hair and to change his voice to become manlier.
I mean, when I was really little, it was very clear to me that I felt like a boy and my friends were all boys. And then as I got older, and especially going into puberty, it felt like the expectations around me started to change of how I was supposed to act. But it also felt as if my body was like literally betraying me, because I went from a very athletic, straight, up and down little kid to a very curvaceous woman. And it was just horrifying to me.
He's an LGBTQ rights advocate as well as an actor, becoming the first transgender man to play a male role in a movie. He has credits in The Secret Life of the American Teen, The Bold and the Beautiful, and American Horror Story.
That your mother wanted you to act more like a girl, but your father accepted your boyish ways.
Seemed to accept it more, yeah. And I think, look, in fairness, when I was with my dad, he accepted me, but I wanted to be just like him. So any parent is gonna love that. And it was easy for him because I was like a son, and so I wanted to do all the things that he wanted to do. And we played sports and roughed house in the pool and all of that. And for my mother, I completely understand why it must have been difficult. You have this expectation of your baby girl and how that's gonna be, and I didn't act anything like she probably imagined it would be.
2. Chanel West Coast.
Pick up the bag, but she don't get bags. But that's a real Birkin. Ooh, where's she working?
There's a rumor that states that Chanel West Coast is actually actor Lee Norris from Boy Meets World due to their similar looks. However, they're two separate people in entertainment. Norris continued his career in television, while Chanel West Coast is a rapper and actress, best known for Fantasy Factory. 3. Laverne Cox. One of the most famous transgender actors out there is Laverne Cox, who debuted in the Netflix series Orange is the New Black. The Alabama native grew up as a boy, being bullied for being more feminine and wanting to dance instead of playing sports.
Anyone who has the audacity to be themselves should be celebrated and not discriminated against, not ridiculed, stigmatized, criminalized.
Her mom signed her up for tap and jazz classes, but not ballet because it was for women. Cox knew from a young age that she was a woman inside, but struggled with her truth, to the point where she attempted suicide in 6th grade. We're glad she's doing better now.
I didn't feel pretty before I started the medical part of my transition, but I look back and I think that I was actually quite beautiful.
4. Carmen Carrera.
I used to feel like I had to be the perfect woman. My hair had to be perfect, I had to smell perfect, my makeup perfect, or else I would not be able to go out and I'd be way too insecure to function. I used to carry that with me, that insecurity. I used to carry that with me all the time. And it's just an immense amount of pressure to put on yourself. There is no perfect.
She's a trans woman that gained recognition after appearing on RuPaul's Drag Race. She did drag for years before finally deciding to start her transition. The decision was hard for Carmen because people were used to him being a man that dressed as a woman, and then suddenly she was a woman.
Imagine waking up in the wrong body. I was just a kid who wanted to have long hair and wear girls' clothes.
She currently works as a model, but caused some stir on Drag Race due to a comment about playing a game called Female or She-Male. She took offense to the term She-Male as it's offensive to all transgender girls. We're glad that she stood for everyone's rights.
I am so proud to have the body that I have, and I think that I would have never been able to experience that feeling had I not transitioned.
Andrea Page. She was initially known as Andrea Page in the fashion industry as a model who walked with female clothes. People loved his androgynous look, but in 2014, she decided to get a surgery to start life as a woman. Andrea revealed that reassignment surgery is not easy as it requires getting a mental evaluation. There are lots of tests that happen before the procedure. Fortunately, when she revealed her wishes to her menswear agency, they were completely supportive. Through being a transgender female model is very hard in the industry. Luckily, Andrea has lots of support and fans.
I love my hips. I was born trans. I discovered that I was trans at about the age of 13. Developing into a man was very scary.
6. Fallon Fox. Fox is a woman featherweight MMA fighter, and that's a field that has yet to accept transgender people completely.
How about talking about like testosterone levels? Are your levels the same as other females?
Negative. My testosterone levels are actually lower than any female that I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah. So any of the women that I'm actually competing against, my testosterone levels are drastically lower than theirs, and it's almost nothing.
At first, no one knew she had been a man, but a reporter discovered her life being transitioning. Revealing her truth was tough because her parents didn't support her at all. They placed her in gay conversion therapy to make her turn into a man even though she was transgender. Naturally, fans of the sport accused of having an advantage over the other woman, but Fallon says she's been in hormone therapy for so long that she's not a man anymore.
So bottom line, being born male doesn't give you a physical advantage competing in female MMA?
No, not at all. After you take the testosterone, the hormone replacement therapy, and you remove that ability for the body to create large amounts of testosterone, especially being that I don't have even the amount of testosterone that women who were born with female anatomy have. I'm going to be like, I'm actually at a disadvantage.
7. Gina Rosero. Rosero was known as a model, but no one had any idea about her transgender identity until a TED Talk in 2014.
For the last 9 years, some of my neighbors, some of my friends, colleagues, even my agent did not know about my history. I think in mystery, this is called a reveal. Here is mine. I was assigned boy at birth based on the appearance of my genitalia.
Naturally, she was hesitant about revealing her true nature because she got reassignment surgery at the age of 19, and most of her friends didn't know. Gina decided to make that speech because she feared that the media would find about it and make her feel that she isn't a real woman.
I have that very clear moment. When I was 5 years old, I would always wear a t-shirt or the towel on my head and drape it on my back, and I would walk around the house all day wearing that. And there was a moment when my mom actually asked me, saying, "How come you always wear that t-shirt in your head?" I said, "Mom, this is my hair. I'm a girl."
Furthermore, the model wanted to inspire others like her out there that knew they were different from a young age. Luckily, Rosero had a supportive family. 8. Erica Irvin. She was known as William before transitioning in 2004, and the supermodel is currently the tallest female model in the world at 6'8". She opened up about herself when actor Bill Skarsgård told her to talk about it in Sweden, as the Swedish are more open to it.
I'm very sensitive to people when they look at me, and I can tell if there's acceptance or rejection.
She starred in American Horror Story Freak Show as Amazon Eve because the casting call said they were looking for a man to play a woman. She went dressed as a man and only told him she was transgender after she got the role.
I auditioned for the part as a guy, slicked back my hair, no makeup, flannel shirt, bound my breasts, dropped my voice, and walked in and nailed it.
Sadly, Erica doesn't have the support of her family. 9. Caitlyn Jenner. Arguably one of the most recognized transgender women nowadays is the former Olympic athlete Bruce Jenner, whose coming out story was notoriously publicized due to the hype of the Kardashians. She revealed that she loved women's clothes from a very young age and was confused by her tendencies. Both her marriages to women failed because she wasn't happy with herself. Jenner had talked about being confused with her first wife, Linda, who refused to listen. When she started dating Chris, the athlete told her that she was taking hormone pills, but Chris denies that claim adamantly. 10. Chaz Jennings. This transgender woman rose to fame when she was interviewed by Barbara Walters at the age of 6.
Do people treat you differently when they know you're transgender?
Yes, they do. They don't understand what the concept means, and they think that I'm weird and that I shouldn't have the same rights as them just because of what's between my legs.
She has been in television since then, working to raise awareness about what it's like growing up feeling like you're a different gender. Chaz knew that she was a girl all along, even when her parents corrected her. And once they understood she was transgender, they were completely supportive. Jennings is a famous YouTuber nowadays and has her show on TLC. Furthermore, she made the list of Time magazine's top 25 most influential teens in 2014.